The entire airspace of the United Arab Emirates just shut down. Not one airport, not one city, the entire country. Every square kilometer of sky above every emirate. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Oman, Amal Quain, closed. No planes in, no planes out, nothing flying. The UAE's General Civil Aviation Authority announced what they called a, quote, temporary and partial closure of the country's airspace as an exceptional precautionary measure aimed at ensuring the safety of flights and air crews and safeguarding the UAE's territory amid rapidly evolving regional security developments. That's the most diplomatic way possible to say. Iranian missiles and drones are incoming, and we're shutting everything down before a plane full of passengers gets hit. This is the country that processes 92 million passengers a year through Dubai International Airport alone, the aviation hub that connects Europe to Asia. The transit corridor used by more than 50% of British passengers heading east and 65% of Europe-bound Australians. And it just went dark. Flight Global, one of the most respected aviation publications on Earth, called this, quote, the most acute aviation shock since the COVID-19 pandemic. Tonight on the Ops Room, I'm taking you through every detail, the timeline, the attacks, the flight cancellations, the airlines grounded, the oil infrastructure burning, the passengers stranded from London to Shanghai, and why what happened in UAE Airspace today proves this war has reached a level of global disruption that affects every single person on this planet, whether they realize it or not. Let's go. Here's the timeline, because the speed of this collapse tells you everything about how fragile the world's most connected aviation hub actually is. Monday, March 16th, early morning. An Iranian drone strikes a fuel storage tank near Dubai International Airport. Massive fire erupts. Thick black smoke visible for kilometers. Dubai's Civil Aviation Authority suspends all flights. Emirates, the UAE's flagship carrier serving 250 destinations, grounds its entire fleet. Air India cancels all Dubai flights. Thousands of passengers stranded. Fire eventually contained. No injuries reported. Flights resume hours later on a reduced schedule. The world exhales. Looks like a one-time event. A bad day. Resume normal programming. Tuesday, March 17th, less than 24 hours later. UAE air defense systems activate again. New wave of Iranian missiles and drones incoming. This time, the response isn't limited to one airport. The General Civil Aviation Authority shuts down the country's entire airspace. Not just Dubai, not just Abu Dhabi. Everything. The skies above the 7th richest country on Earth per capita go silent. Look at the flights that were canceled. These aren't obscure regional routes. These are the arteries of global travel. Emirates flight from London to Dubai, canceled. Emirates flight from Rome, canceled. Emirates flight from Brussels, canceled. Emirates flight from Shanghai, canceled. Emirates flight from Taipei, canceled. Emirates departures from Dubai to Paris, canceled. Dubai to Dublin, canceled. Dubai to Birmingham, canceled. At Abu Dhabi's Zayed International Airport, Etihad flights from Dublin, from Amsterdam, from Manchester, from Moscow, all canceled. Pakistan International from Lahore, canceled. Egypt Air from Cairo, canceled. Indigo flights from India, canceled. Even an Etihad flight from Abu Dhabi to Tel Aviv, canceled. You can't fly to a war zone from another war zone. FLY Dubai, the budget carrier that connects dozens of cities across the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, canceled flights from Addis Ababa, Dhaka, Jeddah, Kathmandu, Amman, and Langkawi. Every cancellation represents hundreds of passengers. Thousands of people who plan their day, their week, their business around flying through the UAE, all suddenly going nowhere. And this isn't just about the flights that were canceled today. It's about the flights that won't be booked tomorrow, next week, next month. Every airline operates on forward bookings. Every empty seat is revenue that never comes back. Every cancellation generates refund requests, rebooking costs, compensation claims, and customer service nightmares that cascade through airline operations for weeks. And every potential passenger who sees the headlines, UAE Airspace shut down, thinks twice before booking any flight through the Gulf. Now let me show you why this is happening. Because the UAE airspace closure didn't happen in isolation. It's the culmination of a sustained Iranian campaign that is systematically dismantling the UAE's position as the world's premier aviation and economic hub. Iran has launched more than 1,900 missiles and drones at the United Arab Emirates since this war began on February 20th. 1,900. That is the highest number of any country attacked in this entire conflict. Higher than Israel, higher than Saudi Arabia, higher than Bahrain. The UAE, a country that didn't start this war, didn't attack Iran, and has consistently denied that its territory was used to launch strikes on Iran, has absorbed more Iranian firepower than any nation on earth. And the targets aren't random. Iran is systematically hitting the infrastructure that makes the UAE's economy function. Dubai International Airport, drone strike on fuel tank, flights suspended. That was Monday. Abu Dhabi outskirts, missile strike killed a Palestinian civilian. That was Tuesday. Fujairah oil zone, multiple drone attacks have sparked fires at the oil tank farm. ADNOC, the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, has repeatedly suspended oil loading operations at Fujairah, the Shah gas field, one of the UAE's major gas production facilities, hit by a drone attack that ignited a fire and forced operations to be suspended. And this is just the last 48 hours. The Fujairah port alone has been attacked on at least 3 separate occasions, March 14th, 16th, and 17th. 3 attacks in 4 days on the same facility. Fujairah was supposed to be the strategic bypass, the route that gets UAE oil to market without passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is demonstrating that there is no bypass. There is no safe route. Every piece of UAE infrastructure is within range, and every piece of UAE infrastructure can be hit repeatedly. 7 people have been killed in the UAE since the war began. 5 civilians, 2 military personnel, and those 2 military deaths were from a helicopter crash caused by technical failure, not combat. The low casualty count is a testament to the UAE's air defense systems, which have been intercepting the vast majority of 1,900 incoming projectiles. But air defense systems have limits. Interceptors have costs. Radar operators have fatigue. And every projectile that gets through, every drone whose debris lands on a fuel tank, every missile that strikes near an airport, demonstrates that the shield is not perfect. And here's the calculation that makes the UAE's position truly impossible. The UAE hosts American military assets. Al Dhafra Air Base near Abu Dhabi is home to U.S. Air Force units. The IRGC specifically claimed to have launched attacks on Al Dhafra with 10 missiles and drones. Iran's justification for attacking the UAE is simple. If your territory hosts American military infrastructure, you are a legitimate target. The Qadim al-Anbiya Central Command declared, quote, "Every point that serves as the origin of aggression against Iran is a legitimate target." The UAE has denied that its territory was used to launch strikes against Iran, specifically denying involvement in the Karg Island bombing. But Iran doesn't care about denials. From Tehran's perspective, and from the IRGC's operational planning, the presence of U.S. military bases on UAE soil makes the entire country a combatant, and Iran is treating it accordingly. BBC correspondent Azadeh Moshiri captured the UAE's predicament perfectly. She reported, quote, "The UAE feels it has been unjustly pulled into this war. Given how long it has taken the UAE to become a safe and prosperous country, and the fact that it's taking multiple blows, people are worried about the long-term impact. That long-term impact is what this story is really about. Because the airspace closure, as dramatic as it is, will end. Flights will resume. The canceled routes will be rebooked. Passengers will eventually reach their destinations. But the damage to the UAE's global brand is permanent, or at least it will take years, possibly decades, to repair. Dubai didn't become the world's most connected city by accident. The UAE spent hundreds of billions of dollars over 50 years building an economic model based on one fundamental promise: stability, safety, modernity. You can fly to Dubai, do business, enjoy luxury, and fly home without worrying about war, instability, or violence. That promise attracted the world's airlines, the world's corporations, the world's tourists, the world's investors, and the world's money. Emirates Airline became one of the largest and most profitable carriers on Earth by positioning Dubai as the ultimate transit hub, the crossroads of civilization. That promise shattered on Monday when the airport caught fire. It shattered again on Tuesday when the entire country's airspace shut down. And it shatters a little more every time a drone hits Fujairah, every time the Sharjah gas field burns, every time a missile kills someone on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi. The numbers tell the story of what's at stake. Dubai International Airport handled 92.3 million passengers in 2024. Emirates alone carried 43.6 million passengers in the 12 months before this conflict. More than 50% of British passengers heading to Asia and 65% of Australians heading to Europe transit through major Gulf airports, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Doha. When UAE Airspace closes, the impact is felt in boarding lounges from Heathrow to Sydney. And the economic ripple effects extend far beyond aviation. Dubai is a global logistics hub. Jebel Ali Port, the largest in the Middle East, handles 66% of the UAE's foreign trade. Abu Dhabi is an energy export powerhouse. The UAE is a global financial center. It's a tourism destination generating billions in revenue. It's a real estate market that has attracted investment from every corner of the planet. Every dimension of this economy depends on the perception of safety and the reality of connectivity. Both are under assault. Formula One already canceled the Bahrain and Saudi Grand Prix. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, scheduled for later this year at the Yas Marina circuit, is now under existential threat. If the UAE's own airspace is being shut down due to military attacks, how does F1 justify bringing drivers, teams, and tens of thousands of spectators to a circuit in Abu Dhabi? Every major international event scheduled in the UAE faces the same question. Conferences, trade shows, concerts, sporting events, all of them require flights in and out. All of them require the guarantee that airspace will remain open. And after today, that guarantee doesn't exist. Insurance premiums for Gulf aviation have been climbing since the war began. After Tuesday's airspace closure, they will spike again. War risk insurance makes flights through the Gulf more expensive. Airlines pass those costs to passengers. Some routes become commercially unviable. Some carriers reduce service. Some pull out entirely. The competitive landscape of global aviation is being permanently altered by Iranian drones that cost less than $50,000 each. And Iran isn't stopping. The IRGC launched its 54th wave of attacks just days ago. Iranian Parliament Speaker Galibaf just threatened to, quote, make the Persian Gulf run with the blood of invaders. The IRGC revealed it has only been using decade-old missiles. Its newest weapons remain in unopened depots. Iran's Media Operations Center warned that further attacks on Dubai and Doha could follow within hours. Every signal from Tehran says the same thing. More is coming. The UAE state news agency WAM confirmed that airspace has returned to normal and, quote, continuous real-time monitoring remains in place to ensure the highest levels of safety. But return to normal is doing extraordinary work in that sentence. Because this is the new normal. A normal where the country's airspace can be shut down at any moment, where the world's busiest airport can catch fire from a single drone, where oil loading operations are suspended repeatedly, where gas fields burn, and where the government describes all of this as rapidly evolving regional security developments. 92 million passengers, 250 destinations served by Emirates, the world's busiest international airport. And it can be shut down by a country that has launched 1,900 projectiles at it in 18 days. A country whose own airports are being bombed, but whose drone production lines are still running and whose missile depots are still sealed. The UAE's General Civil Aviation Authority used the phrase exceptional precautionary measure. But when exceptional measures become routine, when airspace closures happen on consecutive days, when the same port is attacked 3 times in 4 days, when fuel tanks burn near the world's busiest airport, the word exceptional loses its meaning. This isn't exceptional anymore. This is the war reaching into the sky above a country that built its entire existence on the promise that the sky would always be safe. That promise is broken. And 92 million passengers, from London to Shanghai, from Rome to Taipei, from Brussels to Colombo, just learned that their travel plans, their business trips, their family visits, and their vacations depend on whether an Iranian drone launches tonight. This is the Ops Room. Subscribe, hit the bell, share this video, because when the UAE's airspace shuts down, The entire world's travel network feels it. This isn't just a Middle East story. This is your story. I'll see you in the next one.